have a question that I know is just going to drive you mad.
Okay.
Are you, how many people have suggested you call your Edinburgh show Marty Supreme?
So, like, actually, only like 2 people, but
Yeah.
so many people have been like, this is so. I think if I was doing like a work in progress show in like just the tonic, that's what I would call it, or something maybe, but not for like your own full hour. But they're like, call it Marty Supreme 2.0, or
Yeah.
But I think that's. Yeah, I need to watch it. I need to see it. It's been out for ages now, and I haven't seen it.
I've had people message me and say, have you suggested to Marty that she call her show Marty Supreme?
No.
I'm like, no. And I know Marty would hate that.
But the thing is, I'm trying to imagine my brain if I wasn't working like in comedy, and if I was like on the precipice, like interested in comedy. And it is the kind of suggestion where there's not loads of like ego and whatever wrapped around the idea. Like, I might have maybe a few years ago been like, that's funny. But now, being a bit, I don't want to say I'm snobby, but when you get experience in comedy, you're like, no. Do you know what I mean? And with respect to people who said that, and people have said that to me who are comedians, and they're comedians I really, really like and respect. So if I was having like a birthday party, I'd call it like Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme, yeah.
And maybe
work in progress.
Yeah, or work in progress. Maybe I'm being too much of a egomaniac. I don't know. I just want my show to be my show, I don't want it to be riding on the coattails of Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong,
Yeah. I get that. I think sometimes I go back and forth as well between stuff like that. Because like last year, I ended up calling my show Feckin', but I was on the fence about that. And loads of people, I actually think I said this to you before, and you said, was I one of those people? I was like, no, Marty, you weren't one of those people.
I think I was. I
don't think you were. I think you're, because I said I'm thinking of calling it Feckin', and loads of people said, don't do that, that'll be such a bad, that's like, it will demean the show. All you said is, you were like, oh, are you sure you want your title to be a pun? Are you sure you don't want it to be something else? You were just, that was all you were saying. But other people were like, no. It's honestly, it's like such a, it will demean your show, and it's so.
It works so well though.
It was also there's like some people. Now I think if you're doing like a pun for a recent movie, I think it will just wash over people. But I think if you're doing like a niche pun, I did have some people come where they're like, oh, I saw the title, and I was like, oh, I think. Well, I like Tekken.
That's the thing. So your show has Tekken in it, like feature elements of a video game. Like I would have nothing. Mary and Joe Mayo, and they have nerd mentality. That's really good. But Mary did chat to me about it, and I just have a thing in my head against puns. But I've been proven wrong on both those occasions. Also, not wrong, just preference. But also, because both those shows have both of those things in them, it makes complete sense. And they're really fun. So, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think as well, if you, like, at the end of the day, you don't like pun titles like that. So why would you want your show to be like that? Whereas I quite like, I had this thought in my head. I didn't think I'd be nominated for anything or anything like that. But I did think it would be funny if it's like, how funny would it be if the show's really good and somebody has to say it is this stupid a title? No. Like that was in my head. Like
that's comedy.
Yeah, so I was like, that's what pushed me over in the end. But I just, the amount of people I've had in the last month or so just telling me like, oh, you. Has she thought about it? It's like this has been brought up, and I just know Marty wouldn't go for this.
Remember that with Marty and Roger.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Member That Podcast. My name is Marty Gleason. I'm here with
Roger O'Sullivan.
Well,
hello,
Roger,
Marty.
how are you doing? You've got some shows coming up, dude.
I do. I've done my Soho shows. They're all gone. They're all gone, guys.
Mm.
And now I have I have some Irish dates coming up in April. Come to those. It's like the 16th.
I'll be
17th,
opening for that
18th.
one.
Yeah,
That's in
yeah.
Limerick?
You will be. Yeah. So yeah, check Ticketmaster. I'm on Ticketmaster there with the evil overlords,
Look at
like
you.
everyone else. Yeah. The and there's plenty left, lads. Plenty left.
Oh no.
The Marty, how are you feeling?
I'm grand. I've got some shows coming up in February. I'm going to say at the top of the episode, and then we can get straight into it. So I got some shows coming up. One with my two girls, Sumi and Frances Keaton, in Soho Theatre on the 13th of February. It's called Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am. We used to do the show. We're coming back together. We've got new things going on in it. It's going to be really good. Please come to that on the 13th of February. Then I have another show on the 15th of February in Leicester Comedy Festival, if any of you are in Leicester. And on the 18th in the London Hospital Tavern with my good friend Kieran Sagu, who is an excellent comedian. We're doing a work in progress. Anyway, Roger, this week we are talking about grown-ups in terms of like what we thought of them when we were kids. Not a previous episode, what did we do it on? We did it on grown-ups, but what was the...
It was what we thought being a grown-up would be like.
Yes.
Whereas this is more like the political interaction between children and grown-ups.
Yes, exactly.
What we felt of grown-ups.
Like what was because it was, I feel like when I was a kid, it was really us versus them. And that's how it was painted a lot in movies like Big Fat Liar, any movie where there's like, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the principal is just like they're out to get you and stop you from having fun.
I think that we were raised in such a way that I genuinely thought we'd never become adults.
Yeah.
I was never going to let myself become an adult.
No.
But then, God, it happens.
It's like those adults though that are like, I had an idea that maybe I'd be one of those adults that have a way, those adults that have a kind of, they have the language to speak to kids or something. Like they're kind of in on the group, like the Jack Blacks, we'll call them.
Yeah.
Like my brain was like, I'll be one of those adults that are like in the inner circle.
So I could see that for you, Marty. I could see you doing that.
That's what I wanted, but I don't know if that's... But I didn't actually, like you said, think about it too much.
No, I think I just hated... I hated authority as a kid. I hated all my teachers in primary school pretty much. Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hated the idea of like grown-ups. They thought they knew everything. And do you know what? There's nothing I loved more as a kid than when I knew something that a grown-up didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, was that often?
That would all the fucking time.
Really?
Yeah.
In school, like?
In school, yeah. I'll just say it. One or two of my teachers in primary school, well, I was like leaps and bounds ahead of them intellectually. Like they were just pure thickles. I got in a fight with a teacher when I was like 8 because, because now if this doesn't sound like undiagnosed autism, I don't know what will. But I don't think, unlike all other comedians, I don't think I am autistic. But in our like nature books, which would have been really old, there was like
nature books were so good when we were kids. Like our school nature books, I used to like read that outside of school. I just loved it. The pictures were so nice. They were like pencil drawings. It was like they were like usually it was where you went to as an alt kid. That's where you got all of your like. You thought you were going to commune with nature. This was going to be your life. But there was a Lee and a Barney. As you'll know, a fill in the blanks for the non-Irish speaking listeners. Yeah. And the fill in the blanks said, a spider is an... And then the only one that fit in was insect. And I had like a drawn out shouting match with my teacher being like, it's not an insect. It's an arachnid. An insect is a completely different thing. And the teacher's like, it says it in the book. And I was like, okay, right. You're going to look like such an idiot tomorrow. I brought in an encyclopedia explaining the difference between insects and arachnids. Something I don't know now. Yeah. But the teacher's just like, now in hindsight, the teacher's like, why are you making my life so hard? I don't care. Yeah. I'm hungover.
This is so you couldn't believe how irrelevant this will be to you when you're grown up.
Yeah.
Uh,
But also, it's just about getting one up on them, isn't it? It's like,
yeah.
because they're so in charge of you. And it's so good that you didn't just say, yeah, okay, you're right. Like, you still were a kid that was able to be like, this is something I know, and I know that I'm right. So I'm not going to bend the knee to authority. Like, that's great.
Yeah. As a kid, I was like that. That was my brand as a kid. I would have been such a shithead to teach, I'd say. Like, if I wasn't me, I would have hated me. But I
Yeah.
was me, so I thought this, long may this continue. Another time I had a hand. This is such dickhead move. But
Yeah.
another time I had my hand up in the class, and the teacher said, "Oh, we're not taking any more questions now." And I said, "It's not a question; it's a statement."
What are you, a politician? Jesus. Roger, that's so
Yeah.
funny. What did you say? The
I
allegations are false.
Yeah. I think it was something about. I think. I couldn't really. I think it's something about the. Do you know the? Is it the? I can't even remember it now. But the map, the like classic map that we all see. Is it the MacArthur projections?
For the world.
Or the yeah.
Yeah.
It was me saying that they're over exaggerated. That they're not an accurate representation of what the what
size of
the
each
different-
country is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Wow.
teacher was just like, this is now. To be fair, we were talking about the map at the
Yeah.
time because the teacher was talking about the relationship of like, oh, you can see this country's this big and this country's that big or whatever. But yeah,
You're such a. Oh my God, I'd have been like, shut up, Roger. Or something.
yeah. Fair enough.
But as a teacher, as a kid, I don't know how I would have felt. I would have been. I
Yeah,
don't know. I probably
was
wouldn't even be listening. I'd be drawing or something in the corner.
I was nearly kicked out of one class as well. I was like I would say chaotic. Chaotic good maybe, or chaotic
Vigilante.
annoying as a kid. Yeah, because
Yeah.
another time a teacher said, I don't know what I was talking about in this case. This is a teacher. I think her name was like Miss O'Callaghan, and she actually. I probably shouldn't say it's not Miss O'Callaghan. It's another teacher. I think I've already brought her up on the thing, but
Yeah.
she ended up causing so much problems that like the school didn't want her there anymore. But when at one point she was giving out to me and she said, you have to stand outside the door. I'm like, I'm not going to stand outside the door because I hadn't done anything wrong. Or at least I'll back myself. I hadn't done anything wrong, so I'm not going to stand outside the door. And she said, if you don't stand outside the door, I'll call your mother to take you home. And I said, she'll bring me right back in again.
Wow, Roger.
You ape shit.
fucking. Oh my God. How
Yeah.
old were you?
Oh, it would have been like about 8 or something.
Oh
was
my
like-
God. You're so rebellious.
I've become less rebellious with age. I used it all up as like as a kid.
Oh my God,
But
you're
yeah.
so lucky because you've a better sense of self. I was so like, listen up,
Really?
listen to the teacher. We were in such a strict
Take
primary
all that.
school. Yeah, I literally
Okay.
head smack off the table.
yeah.
How cold. But no, we had a very strict primary school. The thing I was thinking about, like, with the whole grown-up thing, when you were in junior and senior infants, which is reception for people in the UK, or like when you're just literally like 4 and 5, and you have that first teacher is the first instance, like, of a grown-up outside of your immediate family or your uncles and aunties. So it's like the first time you're in the room with this other figure that you have to like obey or whatever.
Yeah.
And usually, like, kids love that person because they still have the mentality of like mommy, daddy, and they kind of project elements of that onto that person. And my primary school junior infants teacher was this woman who was like the same demeanor as Miss Honey from Matilda, just so lovely,
Really?
so kind, so nice. And she was like, and then she actually passed away very soon after I left junior infants, which was quite sad. But she was so like just nice and kind. But then some of the teachers were nice. The rest of them were quite strict. But there was this one teacher that I really liked. But she she took a special interest in me because I could draw really well, so she would always just let me draw things and stuff. And one day, she was just like sitting. She could be kind of sharp with the other kids. I was definitely one of her pets or whatever. And one day she was like sitting at her desk and she was writing something, and then it was like in a movie. This big bee just flew into the room, right? Huge, massive thing, like not even kid perspective, you know. And it came over, and we were all kind of freaked because we'd all just learned about the Bermuda Triangle, so we were all kind of like, "What's going on?"
Oh yeah.
And this bee came in and lands on her, and she goes, "Oh, oh," and she like falls off her chair in the air, like her two legs go up into the air, and her skirt goes down over her thing, and it's like one of those. Not cartoon, but like a movie, and we were all like, you know, doing the kid laugh, like like that. And she's so embarrassed, and then I think she's so embarrassed she like reacts in a way that maybe she shouldn't have.
I would have left the school.
You would have left. I mean, we were so young. We were like communion years.
Yeah, but Marty, you remember it, and kids do remember.
Yeah, but we were in an all-girls primary school, and we were like. We would never speak out of turn, or we would never make fun of her or anything. We'd just be like, "Are you okay, miss? No, we'd be like, "You okay, Voontor?" You know,
Voontor. Do you know I think that you've highlighted something where I just never entertained the fact that your first teacher might be nice.
Yeah.
Because my first teacher was a teacher that everyone called Miss Maggots Manny, who is just worse than you said Miss Honey, so I'll say worse than Trunchbull.
Oh no!
So I was like, fuck. She was so. I'm sure she's retired now. If I once accidentally kicked her in the face with a soccer ball.
Oh my god!
I was delighted I did that.
Yeah,
I was over the moon. But she was so strict that she would tell she wouldn't let kids go to the toilet if they were asking during class.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Until kids started pissing themselves.
Oh my god!
In the class, and then eventually
when you're in junior infants, like
yeah,
jeez, but they'd be pissing themselves anyway. They're so small.
I know, but we're 4, so just let us go to the toilet. But she would always be like, "You had the lunch break to go. And now you're disrupting my lessons." It's like, we're 4. What the fuck are we learning?
But the thing is, a 4-year-old genuinely does need to go to the toilet when they say it, because they don't have they don't have the mentality yet where they're going to spend ages standing at the top of the class paring their pencils just to bite down the time. You know, they're not trying to skive off. They're skiving off in their heads when they're sitting there when they're in the classroom with you. They're not. Yeah. You know, that's horrible.
Yeah.
My cousin told me here. She's English. That they have this thing where I know, can you believe it? Lovely. They have this thing here, and when she told me about it, a few other people were like, "Oh yeah, I remember this," and I've never come across this. Where if it usually happens when the kids are in reception, a teacher would be reading a story, right, and you know, it'd be story time. All the kids would be sitting around, and whatever shoes the teacher is wearing, the kids in the front, the front row, we'll call it, like in this little semicircle around her, loads of them just kind of, because they're such sensory little nuggets at that point, they kind of just reach their hand out and stroke the teacher's foot. Like they just do that as a soothing thing while they're listening to stories. And apparently a lot of, it's a thing people do. And I thought that was insane.
That is a bit crazy.
It's not insane. I understand it, but I'm I've never come across that before. So listeners, know what that is. What is that?
You wouldn't have done that in school. Stroke your teacher's shoe?
Oh no way.
I couldn't imagine it.
No,
that's wild. I don't think I'd stroke anyone's shoe.
No, but I think it'd be I don't know what it was. It was just a weird wanting to feel close to the person, because again they're your parent figure. But another thing we're moving away from teachers now, do you know when you'd be at home and you'd be watching a soap with your family, usually it would have been Coronation Street or something.
Yeah.
I always had two things in my head, and I was a kid, I'd be like, there's good and bad adults. It's not like I never
Yeah.
understood. Obviously, they're bad because stuff happened to them. Blah blah blah. Like they're good
Yeah.
or bad. And then the other thing was what I couldn't understand was why people lied, like how, and then they'd lie more and more, especially in Coronation Street or something like that. And they'd be like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a situation, and I'd be sitting there like being so black and white. I'd be like, you just shouldn't be lying. You just tell them you're
shouldn't
cheating
lie.
on
Tell
them.
the truth.
Don't
Yeah.
pretend you're going to the shops, and then they're like all freaked out, like that dramatic freeze frame on their face kind of thing. And then I just was so black and white about lying and didn't understand that.
You've no realization that it's like the simplest form of plot out there.
No.
Like, okay, he's going to go to the shop and he's going to tell her he's not going to the shop, and then that's going to lead to more tension later. And you're like, lads, just be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest, and we can get out of here in 10 minutes.
Yours,
We
yeah,
can get
literally.
the whole episode done.
You're in so much pain. Like any plot line of any movie, I'm like, God, Scar is bad. Scar is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm referencing Lion King now,
It's
even though you haven't
obvious.
seen it. But like, I'd be like, just be good. Just be
Yeah.
good,
Just
Stop
be good,
lying. Whereas now I understand why people lie, but I still wouldn't be a liar. I don't like it.
One example of like the whole lying thing, and because I watched Coronation Street growing up as well, and this fascinates me. Do you remember the character
Richard.
of Todd?
Sorry.
What? Do you remember the character of Todd? Do you remember him?
Give me more
No.
context.
All right, there was this guy Todd, and he was going out with, I think the character's name was like Sarah Lou or something.
Was he blonde?
No, he had like black hair, but
Okay.
it's like I think he was going out with Gail's daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was going out with Gail's daughter, and then they introduced this plot that he was secretly gay, and he tried to kiss her brother.
I recognize him now, Todd. Okay, so
Yeah.
he tried to. Yes, okay.
And then, even as a kid, and like, I'm not making out that I was like some kind of woke kid or anything like that. I'm just saying that even as a kid, I thought it was strange that basically Todd was totally normal guy. Then they do this plot line of him secretly being gay. He gets outed as being gay. Almost immediately turns evil.
Oh,
Like suddenly the character is
because
just
he's
like,
gay, like.
because he's gay.
Yeah.
But actually, to defend Coronation Street, because they're usually not bad with stuff like that, I think the problem is the actor wasn't gay,
Yeah.
right? So I think they made the character gay. They introduced another gay character to be his gay friend who moved in with his mom.
And he got
But then-
jealous.
Well, no.
He wanted
so
to be
they,
the only gay character.
yeah, he
in
wanted to be the
Coronation
only gay.
Street.
But they never had any gay storylines with Todd, because I don't know, but I reckon the actor was probably like, I don't want to just do loads of kissing men now because I don't actually want to kiss men. So they were stuck with what to do with him. So then they introduced another gay character, and then he was still gay, but never did never did anything gay, but became evil somehow.
Just in the back doing a sexy car wash in the back, loads of
Yeah,
different
yeah.
scenes. So
But that-
they just,
yeah.
but that was so typical of TV shows in the 90s and 2000s. They made gay people evil.
Yeah, they'd make them evil or like
Yeah.
conniving or something.
Or trans people, they made them evil as well, or
Yeah.
strange or weird. Like in, is it Silence of the Lambs, where the trans person is pretty much evil?
Yeah, yeah. I think Coronation Street actually did one of the rare, like, not portrayed by a trans actor, but one of the rare positive portrayals of a trans person, where Roy, who worked in the cafe.
Yes.
His partner.
Oh, what the
I
hell
can't
was
remember her name now.
Sadie? Was it Sadie?
I think that might actually be the actor's name, but the Roy Cropper.
Oh, I really liked her. She was really like, homey.
Yeah, and the storyline was that like, she had been one of his male friends growing up, and then transitioned,
Oh,
and then
that's
they lived together.
lovely.
Yeah.
Haley.
That's it. Yeah.
Is that actress? Is she trans?
No.
Oh.
So to be fair to Coronation Street, I think, that would have been in the 90s. I don't think there would have been loads of openly trans actors.
Perhaps not, no.
But
That
they
would've
wanted
been
to do the
such a
storyline.
statement. Yeah.
But and the story, like, I know a lot of people who, and actually that actor who portrays Haley, she does loads of LGBT awareness stuff.
Cool.
Like, yeah, she's a very vocal ally.
Good on her.
So yeah.
Good.
So not all grown-ups are bad. Yeah.
No, not all of them are bad. This is the thing. It sounds like you were very good at having a mind of your own when you were a kid. I think we weren't really allowed that in school. And then when I finished school, I wanted to either join the military or a convent so I wouldn't have to think for myself.
What? Is that true, Marty?
Yeah, but not really, really, really seriously. But I did think about it a good bit, and a few other people have thought about that I know, because we just weren't used to you were told like you're an idiot if you said the wrong answer. So then you just wouldn't even put your hand up, because then you'd be like, I'm afraid. So
wow.
to this day, I'm afraid of getting in trouble and all that stuff. It's so stupid.
That's crazy. So I could see you in the army.
I don't want to be. I'm completely against the army. Don't agree with it. I understand it needs to be there, but also no. Some of it would be like, kind of a break from your brain.
If you were in the Irish army, though, you'd end up doing cool things, like you'd be peacekeeping in like Lebanon or whatever.
Yeah, but I'd want to either go hard or nothing, and I don't mean go hard. I don't mean I want to.
You
kill
mean a military
people.
campaign?
Yeah, I'd be just like, where are the kids? No, I'd be like, I don't know. I'd want to join a cool army. No offense, Ireland, but like one that's in action. But no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm just saying that right now. I don't want to.
You don't want to do it.
But there was a time where I was like, yeah, I'll just do one of those two things because somebody will just tell me what to think and do.
Yeah. That's so strange. I just can't picture you. You just don't strike me as somebody who doesn't want to think for themselves.
I do now. Anyway. I do now. I'd love to, but also there's parts of me that don't, because it's just inbuilt from the past. But no, I do. I don't think I'd last a week. I'd be like, oh, what if we all did this bit? And they'd be like, shut up, Sergeant. And I'd be like, come on, it would be so funny. We can wear our boots on our hands and be like, left, right, left.
Corporal, stop doing bits. What do you think prompted that change, that you were just like, no, I want to think for myself now?
I think just growing up a bit. Like, not even growing up a bit, but like maybe going into, I don't know, art school was good. Because then you really do think for yourself. It's like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
That's the main thing they teach there. They don't teach you any practical art stuff. They're like, see that thing you got in there? That's your brain is what I'm pointing at. That's such a great tool. And I honest to God, I had 2 painting classes when I went to that college. And that was it. And the rest was like, use your brain in strange ways. And I think that really helped me.
So you had a positive experience in art school then?
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't think I'd be doing comedy if I didn't go there.
That's good. I like that you're like, I wouldn't be doing comedy. Obviously, though, art. Fuck art. Like, yeah.
No, not fuck art. No. I'm just in a different path at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. In terms of, the adults, I don't know. It's funny how you slot, and I still do this now with adults. I still assume people are older than me.
Yeah.
All the time.
Everyone's older than us. That's what I think, Marty. It's like, no, me and Marty are just vibrant young people, and we don't know what's going on, so obviously everyone must be older than us.
Literally. Obviously, I assume that, like, they are an elder. I could be talking to somebody that we're friends with, and I'd be like, thank you.
I had like a moment recently where I realized I was the grown up, or not quite I was the grown up.
Yeah.
But where I was like, this would have been like a month ago or whatever, that I was teching for a show. I was coming in to do a tech run for my show. And I'm so used to getting to venues and they're like, oh, here are the lights and is that all fine? and and you're just meant to go, yeah. But then I was like, hang on a minute, this is my show. And
Yeah.
no, it's not fine.
Mm.
These need to be this color.
Crazy
that
feeling.
Needs to be, yeah.
Crazy
I need
feeling.
£1,000 now.
Yeah, being in charge. I always notice that with techs as well, because they are younger a lot of the time in certain places, and you can't assume. I'm not like you have to. I always assume people know better, which I shouldn't. This is just the default thing. I always have to challenge myself on that. And then, especially in those situations, you're like, no, I am the grown up actually, and nobody knows your show better than you, right? So as well as that, so.
I'll say as well for the tech did a great job. The guy Aiden is his name, brilliant job, and it was nothing on him. It was me having this realization of like, hang on a minute, I'm the we're not waiting for a third person to come in and sort this out. Like I'm the adult here that has to go.
I'm the grown up,
or I'm the person in charge of this to a certain degree. But yeah. They're weird moments.
Before we go into listener submissions, a question I have for you. How do you feel when somebody asks you, and it's not like they're not like asking you in a big way, they're just like in passing because it's so normal for them. They ask you, have you got any kids? How does that make you feel?
Oh, I don't know if this says anything bad about me. I've never been asked that in my life.
Really?
Never. I think people just assume he doesn't have kids.
And you're just driving around that white van in a big net, and nobody ever asks you if you've any kids. You're like, I'm trying my best here, pal.
I always say none today.
Today, tomorrow we'll have some fresh kids. So you never get asked that question. I get asked that randomly here and there, and it always makes me go like, and like obviously I'm of age. I could have a kid that is 10, or even I could have a kid that's 14. Oh my god, if I really
wow.
Yeah.
You could have a kid who would be old enough that they could produce this podcast. Probably.
Yeah. My friend has a
what were you doing,
Marty?
Marty?
And he could do this, so like he's it's crazy because we could, and like I'm not ready to have kids. I gotta learn how to drive first, so I can jangle my keys against my engagement ring, which I gotta get first, and then I get I'm not ready.
Do you think that there's like a gender thing going on there, that you're asked more than me, or do you think it's just that people think you're? No. Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's because the context where I am. So, for example, one of the times recently was when I was working at the kids' birthday party things. And I was there was like a bunch of 8-year-old kids playing like boys. And I was like, this is insane. Because they were like ping pong balls pinging off the walls. And then the lady beside me was like, do you not have any kids? And I was like, no. And she was like, that makes sense. She was like, this is nothing. And I was like, what? So, and then I was like, wow, it's so cool. I've always wanted to say this is nothing to somebody.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That would be a great way to end your show.
This is nothing.
This is nothing.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down right now. This
is nothing. I think, I'm trying to think. I've maybe been asked once in my life if I have kids. But I think it's in the context of I've said like, I have to do something to look after the animals or something like that. Like I have to, I'm probably referencing like another commitment, and they're like, oh, is it childcare or something? I'm like, no, I'm just looking after the dog at home.
The animals. I like how you say the animals as well. I always think you and Ryan Reynolds live on like a little farm or something.
Yeah.
And you have one chicken each and one cow each.
I'd love that. I'd love a donkey. I'd absolutely love a donkey.
Excuse me.
I think my next show is going to be largely about donkeys.
Are you going to call it Dad Ass?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Dad Ass.
Dad Ass.
Dad Ass.
That's a good pulling in title, isn't it?
Dad Ass.
Yeah. Especially coming from you, calling it Dad Ass.
Dad Ass.
That'd be
See.
unreasonable. Anyway, let's jump right into listener
Let's move in.
submissions. Listener submissions. Roger, did you get many this week for listener submissions?
Here we go. I only really got one, to be perfectly honest. But it did remind me of this. It said there was a mad episode of Rugrats. I think we get so many, or me anyway, I get so many submissions to these that are like, oh, there was this episode of this cartoon. Yeah, Rugrats, often referenced. There was a mad episode of Rugrats where Tommy and Chucky dream about being grown-ups with 9-to-5 jobs. It was really unsettling, creeped me out as a child.
I know
That's
the
from
episode.
Kian. Yeah. I think any time that you saw, like, I think that was a common trope in cartoons where the kid would, like, there would be an episode where they are an adult or what were they like as an adult, and it always freaked me out. I will say, do you remember Rugrats All Grown Up?
Remember that? Yeah.
Remember that?
Great.
That show, I love that show.
Yeah, I was like, they all look really hot now.
I just remember thinking, like, I've known these guys my whole life.
Yeah,
That's good to know where they.
My pals, so glad to see you.
Yeah.
You've stopped the old drinking there, Chucky.
You're all
Good
doing
old
well.
Chuckster, the Chucky, the Chuckalaka-dooku.
What about you, Marty? What was your what were your submissions like?
I got one from Aaron, and I like this one. It's very innocent and true. He said it made me uncomfortable when they did stuff that would get them in trouble. Yeah.
Oh,
me too.
when Grownups did something, when Grownups got told off.
Yeah. Because then you're like, where,
true.
like, that's another thing in my head. I always thought the grown-ups did the right thing, like always in real life. And then when something bad happened, you were like, I think I got uncomfortable because then I was like, I have to think for myself now, right? Because that seems wrong.
Oh.
And then
Yeah, that makes sense.
like if
Suddenly
you see
you're like,
someone-
oh shit.
yeah, and then you question everything in the previously, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, or you just because it's like that layer of authority that you just have to fall in line. I remember I had a boss before who said, "What do as I say, not what I do," and I just was like, "This feels wrong."
You wouldn't like that, no.
But I still was like, because of my strict Catholic girl training, I was like, yes, right away. Absolutely. Anything you want me to cover up anything, any little fraud you got going on there, I can do that. Absolutely no problem. No problem
Marty,
at all.
sometimes you slip into voices like that, and I'm like, that's Marty in another universe where she shut off a section of her brain, and she's like, every day she's like, if I just drink this evening, I won't want to kill myself. That is.
I love my husband. I haven't loved him in about 20 years, but goddamn it, I do love him because he brings home the bacon and he looks after my kids, and that's what
look at
men
my
are
two
for.
beautiful kids. Look at my two beautiful kids.
I feel blessed every day, every goddamn day, and that's all I could ever ask for.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah,
it.
it sounds like I'm going to shoot up something, doesn't it? It sounds like I'm going to shoot something and then turn it on myself.
Yeah, before turning the gun on yourself.
Always turn it on yourself, guys.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
That's always I think I did a work in progress once called the before turning the mic on himself.
Oh, that's so funny. That's really good. Roger.
I think it was called something. I think it was like a one-off work in progress, and it was called Roger O'Sullivan kills everyone in the audience before turning the mic on himself.
What's the oh my god, do you remember, was it the year before last, where this guy at an Edinburgh Fringe show, I think it was in Southside,
Had a gun pulled on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a fake gun, but the police still came and he made a run. Like, everyone thought it was a proper attack and people were freaking out.
You know, do you know the guy who was on stage at that time? I was in a green room with him at Edinburgh this year.
Who was it?
He's the Scottish comedian. I think his name is. I've only met him once ever. I think, and I'm sorry if I get this wrong. I think his first name's
Ralph Brown.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what his second name is, but I was already in the green room, and then because it was in the stand, so loads of people are sharing a green room, and then they came in, and then somebody else came in. Like, I just said hello briefly because I didn't know them, and then somebody else was talking to him, and then they were talking about his show and what was going on in the show. And people are always talking about their shows, and then eventually they say, "Yeah, what must have been felt like when somebody pulled the gun on you?" And I was immediately like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, whoa, it's a good green room conversation.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Wait, you're the guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm the guy." And they pulled the gun on me or whatever. And yeah, I meant to go see his show, but it was on the other side of Edinburgh. I was like, it's over by last year he was doing a show in the stand, so it's like the opposite side of Edinburgh to where my show is. So it was hard to make
Cross
it over.
the bridge.
But but I want to see his show because just what goes through your head in that moment? Because he said it didn't even cross his mind that it would be fake when he pulled it out. Because
it's Edinburgh as well, though. Not cause, but in Edinburgh, that's the only place it could be fake, I guess. Do you know?
Well, yeah, but
you wouldn't think that because it's a fucking gun.
And it looked realistic. And but he said that even though he didn't think it was fake, he didn't act. He didn't recoil and stuff. He was still like, "Whoa, calm down."
This story. Every time he tells it, he's adding a little detail.
He's adding little bits.
Oh, I uppercut him, and then I got his arm and twisted and pinned him on the ground, and I was like, "You better lie down, you worm!"
Kicked it.
But I bet, as horrible as that is for that to have happened to him, I bet he's like, "This was a blessing in disguise because people just want to talk to me about this. I have an Edinburgh hour now."
Of course,
I have 10 minutes I can put into a show,
Pop it right in there.
All these things. Okay, so now in terms of grown-ups, what do you think of kids now, or what do you think of grown-ups now as a grown-up?
I hate kids.
I'm letting you know you are a grown-up, Roger.
I'm a grown-up. Unfortunately, I'm a grown-up now.
Yes, you are.
I do.
Yes, you are.
I do feel like a grown-up now, which feels horrible.
He says pinching the bridge of his nose, and he's just like, cold tears going down his face.
Do you know, I never felt more like a grown-up than this morning. I woke up with a headache with no explanation for it.
Me too.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? What is this?
I also feel like, oh God, this sounds awful, knock on wood and all that, but this is the first time I've really, I'm sure this has been happening for ages because I'm in my 30s, but it's like, the neuroplasticity that you have when you're younger, where you can pick stuff up and whatever. I can feel that going. I'm just like,
no.
I'm like, I can't pick this up. I don't know what this is.
You can. It's our phones. It's our phones that's ruining us. You can get it back.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. I know you said that you're so happy the day phones came because you didn't have to think for yourself when you're walking down the road.
yeah.
I always think about that because I'm like, that's crazy. That's like the opposite of my brain. I couldn't. It's just too much. But no, it'll come back. We just have to spend less time. Do you know what it is? Yeah. You're stressed. You're in survival mode at the moment.
I think that's a little bit of it. I think as well, I've had a chat with so many people recently that has made me think. I've always thought this a little, and don't worry guys, I won't do a show about it, but I have thought I should probably look at an ADHD diagnosis, maybe.
Yeah, do it.
Maybe.
Why not? You should put your name in now though, because you gotta wait for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
I have mine in the bank. I'm waiting. Although I think there was a follow-up message I was meant to do and I never did it. So.
Yeah. I bet that happens a lot.
Yeah. What do I think about adults now and kids now? I think kids, I like kids, but I'm kind of afraid of them. There's a certain point where I don't know. Depends. If they're related to me, it's fine. But if it comes they reach a certain age where I kind of don't know how to talk to them, and then I project adult things onto them as if they're looking at me a certain way, judging me and all this, or stuff that I'm like, this is a kid. You need to just remind yourself. It's a kid. Yeah. They're not crazy. And then how I feel as an adult now. Yeah, it's I think it's I'm looking at adult stuff and looking at different things around me in terms of checkpoint things for being an adult, like having your license and all that. That doesn't make me feel like an adult, but maybe if I just did all those things in one hit, if I just did all those
knock them out.
Things. But then other times I do feel like an adult because sometimes when I'm talking to someone, I am just seething in my brain.
Yeah.
Outwardly, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
I hate you. Do you know you did remind me of one last thing there with kids, which I think is it not so much for me, but I've had friends that with their younger cousins and stuff, that this is a strange phenomenon where two of the biggest video games in the world have been big for so long now, Minecraft and Fortnite. Like, they're both just massive. That I have friends who played those when they were younger, and now they said they talk to their younger cousins, and they're like, "Yeah, I play Minecraft," and they're like, "Yeah, I know about Minecraft." And they said there's this weird feeling where you're just like, you're talking to them, and you're like, "I remember when Fortnite didn't have cars," and they're like, "Fuck off."
Yeah. That stuff, that's very much like somebody, was it you who's telling me they were like, their kid, somebody asked their kid, they were like, "What music do you like?" And they were like, "The old stuff," like the kid was like this, the old stuff, like Arctic Monkeys and stuff.
Oh,
and that, that kind of stuff, every now and again. Or if I was playing 30 Seconds over Christmas and I was playing with my younger cousins who are Gen Z, not even, they're still grown-ups.
Yeah.
And they didn't know loads of like cultural things from, and I was like, whoa. And then you feel like an adult when you say, "God, I think that's before your time now." Do you know when you say that?
Fergie, the Duchess?
Fergie like from Black Eyed Peas?
You must know her.
The Duchess?
The Duchess. That's why she's called Fergie.
Wait, that's why the singer's called Fergie?
Or sorry, she's called the Duchess because her name's Fergie. Isn't that it? And at the time there was that...
Are you talking about the singer?
I'm talking about the singer, yeah.
Oh.
Where one of her other nicknames was the Duchess because the other Fergie was Prince Andrew's wife, who was a Duchess. Wow, maybe I'm old.
I didn't know that one. I had no fucking idea about that one.
I think that's true. I think, yeah. Bless you, Marty. Bless you. Double bless yous. I think will we leave it there, Marty?
We'll leave it there. It's time to go, everybody. Thank you so much as ever for listening in to Member That Podcast. You can email us at memberdat@gmail.com. Is it memberdat@gmail.com?
Yeah, member that or member that pod.
Oh, we gotta know that. We gotta know what that is. But no, we have it up there.
Yeah, you'll find it. You'll find it.
But no, we'd love if you'd email us in and just give us suggestions of what you would like us to talk about. And I think in another episode we might read out some of the things that have been written into us via email. We really appreciate everyone who writes in all the time, people who respond to our stories. We wouldn't be able to elaborate on things if we didn't have your input. So we really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And again, you can go and see me and Roger. I'll be in Soho Theatre on the 15th of February. The 13th of February. Leicester on the 15th of February. Please come to that as well. It's a solo. And the 18th in London at the London Hospital Tavern. Roger, over to you.
Yeah, you can find me. You can find me on Instagram, and all my dates are in my bio. And I have loads of them. Please come to all of them. Love that.
Absolutely succinct and beautiful. All right. See you later now. Goodbye, everybody.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.